Alright guys, so I've just got back from the gym and I've had a wicked session, really happy. And I finished my weights workout, which happened to be bench today, with a little bit of martial arts. Now, this is not just bag work, this was actually teaching martial arts on someone, a friend of mine. Now, this person is very experienced at fighting, is a competent boxer, has basic background in BJJ, so on and so forth. And is muscular. Well, he's more muscular than me, way more muscular. He's just a little bit shorter than me, but he weighs the same, and all that weight is in muscle, and he's got his veins popping out, and that is in fantastic condition. And so about a week ago, he asked me, because he knows I've got a really strong background in martial arts, whether or not I could teach him a little bit, or at least spar, or work together on sort of training together. And we did it, and I was just so surprised at how many of the skills that I've developed over the years I could remember. They were like second nature. I hadn't forgotten a thing, and just how much that allowed me to I don't know the word dominate. I don't mean it in a nasty way, but dominate him within a ring setting. And it was nice. It was a bit of an ego boost in many ways, but from that, the guy was incredibly keen and eager to develop the skills that he has by learning off myself. And so I'm officially taking him under my wing, and I'm going to start teaching him. I teach other people martial arts as well, but this is the first guy that I've taught who's actually willing to, as part of his learning process, allow himself to be filmed so he can watch the videos back to see his mistakes, where he's making them. Because I've suggested, sometimes when you're visualizing what you're doing in your mind's eye is not what you're doing in real life, and the only way to show that is through camera, ultimately. And so he's agreed for me to film him, and I just need to double check that he's okay for it going on here on the internet. But if he is, then we will have much more of an extension to the martial arts series that exists currently on the channel. We will have, to start off with, me teaching him the techniques, basic techniques. You'll see a comparison of how, when I hit, the difference between how I hit and how someone who's just not starting off, but someone who is learning techniques. And you can see the difference between sort of almost an amateur and a sort of master, so to speak. And it would be really fun and enjoyable and entertaining, if nothing else. For those of you who are interested in learning martial arts as well, it'd be a great way for you to see how certain techniques are applied against a physical human being. Because I've been really wanting to do this for a long time now, to actually teach martial arts here on YouTube. But you can't do it unless you've got a partner. Unfortunately, martial arts is something like tango, you need two people for, right? And there's just nothing I've been able to do really up to this point. You can talk about it, you can show stuff, you can do a bit of bag work like I've done before with my boxing techniques, basic boxing and kicking techniques, but it just doesn't substitute stand up for the same as doing it with a real life person, because now I'll be able to show you all the advanced counters as I've been showing the guy. I've been getting him to attack me like you typically attack, jab, cross, whatever, elbow, kick, whatever, and I've been countering those moves and using them against him. And so you'll see advanced counters from me, you'll see basic fighting techniques from him that I'm teaching him, and you'll see them, how they then look when you've got years of experience behind you. And also, as a little adjunct to all this, I'm actually currently teaching myself 2 new martial arts, and I'm not learning the martial arts in their entirety. I'm picking the best parts out of the martial arts, and I'm going to adapt them to my current fighting style. So my fighting style is very much striking based, and that striking is based predominantly on boxing and Muay Thai combined. So I punch like a boxer, and I kick, and I clinch, and I elbow, and all the rest of it, and knee, like a Muay Thai fighter. So from a distance, I'll box you. As we get closer, I turn into a Muay Thai fighter. It's basically my fighting technique. And a lot of my technique has been refined with Shotokan karate. So few of the moves, like being able to punch from close range, for example, these are techniques that I can do because of my black belt in Shotokan karate also. Now, what I want to add to this is something that I think I find myself lacking in a little bit, and that is not necessarily groundwork, and I'm very good in the clinch, but throws, actual formal throws. Because when I throw people, and I've thrown a lot of people in my time, especially in street fights and all the rest of it. That's how I typically try to take you out. I pick you up and throw you, but I use brute strength and I use my natural understanding for wrestling. I do seem to have a natural understanding of momentum and levers and all the rest of it, and how to pick people up efficiently, and of course I've got the strength to be able to do it. But against big strong guys, it would be a lot harder to pick them up and throw them. I can put them on the ground by sweeping legs and stuff, but nonetheless, it's something that I want to develop. And I'm going to be teaching myself pankration and glima. Pankration is an ancient, well, they're both ancient martial arts. Pankration has its origins in ancient Greece. The ancient Greek soldiers used to use it, and they had a very big empire, and there was a good reason for that. Not alone their socioeconomic status, but because they were good fighters. And also, on top of that, then there's glima, and that's a martial art that the Vikings used. Pankration is more, I'm not really looking forward to learning pankration because it's brutal. There's no holds barred. It's a martial art very similar to Muay Thai, in my opinion, that is there to destroy your opponent and, you know, in the old days, kill them as quickly as possible, to take down an armoured opponent and kill them with your bare hands. And so there's going to be a lot of pain techniques and a lot of pressure point work and a lot of throws and maybe a bit of groundwork in pankration, and that's what I'm going to be getting from that. But also glima is actually a martial art that suits someone like myself, a big guy. It does partly rely on having brutal strength and being able to apply that strength quickly. And glima sometimes means flash. That's what it's all about. It's all about bang, doing a movement really quickly, taking your opponent by surprise. And it's predominantly focused on taking an opponent from a standing position into a prone position, so throwing them onto the ground, taking them down to the ground, because in the old days, obviously, then you'd stick them with your sword, right? But it's very important because even in modern day fighting, in self-defense or ring fighting, once they're on the ground and you're on your feet, you're at a major advantage, So that's something that I want to take from glima, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify glima considerably. I'm going to take some of the techniques, and not all of them, but I'm going to take, because I've had a brief look at what the techniques are, and I'm going to use them so I can incorporate different throws. Yes, I want to learn the throws of glima, but I'm going to incorporate them in a manner of which that can be brought into the Muay Thai clinch. I love Muay Thai clinch. I'm very powerful in the Muay Thai clinch, and if I can add to the Muay Thai clinch something that Muay Thai fighters don't do, you do a little bit of throwing, but it's more just to throw them off balance, so you can throw the knees in or get the arms on the inside of the head. But if I've got glima techniques and I can do all this, bang, if I can throw a modified version of a glima throw in there as well, it will make the clinch ever so much more devastating. If I'm happy keeping them upright, kneeing them, elbowing them, punching them at close range, then fantastic. But if they're a good brawler up close personal and I don't want them there anymore, or I'm fighting multiple opponents and don't have the time to wear the guy down in a clinch, need to take him out quickly, bang, you can do a glima throw, take him out and then go on to your next opponent, or just put him down and get the hell out of there if it's obviously self-defense in the street. It's going to be really interesting. I'm so excited, as you guys can probably tell, and I want you to be involved in that process. I'm going to try and talk and teach you as much as possible through cameras. It's going to be hard because the best way to learn is face to face, where you can feel the holes, you can feel the strength, you can feel the techniques like working against your joints, so on and so forth. But you know, through this kind of media form, YouTube is still a pretty good way of teaching, or at least showing the basics of how to use these techniques. And bear with me guys, the first few videos will probably be very amateurish. I won't have the right camera angles, or you won't be able to see much or something. I'm going to do my best to make it as high quality as possible, but over time I'm hoping the videos will evolve alongside the skill set of my opponent as well. I'm hoping he'll be getting to full sparring capability within the next month or two, and as a result we might even have a few sparring sessions filmed. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited about this. I hope you are too, and I'll see you